How heavy is this glass of water I'm holding? This unexpected question broke the silence of an auditorium filled with eager students. The psychology professor, usually known for her conventional teaching methods, took an unorthodox turn during her lecture on stress management. As she held up a glass of water on stage, the students, expecting the cliched half-empty or half-full question, were caught off guard. The room buzzed with a flurry of guesses, like a hive stirred from its slumber. 8 ounces, one student speculated. A pound perhaps, chimed in another. Each answer, unique in its estimation, painted a mosaic of diverse perspectives. Yet, the professor, with a knowing smile, diffused the growing curiosity. From my perspective, the absolute weight of this glass doesn't matter. It all depends on how long I hold it. With that, she left a room full of bewildered students, their minds spinning as they began to grasp the depth of her unexpected question. If I hold it for a minute or two, it's fairly light. The professor's voice echoed through the auditorium, her words hanging in the air as she held up the glass of water. In the grand scheme of things, this glass is nothing more than a minor inconvenience, an almost insignificant weight. Then she continued, her voice steady, but imagine if I were to hold it for an hour. The weight itself hasn't changed, but my arm would start feeling the strain. The muscles would begin to tire, an ache would creep in, a constant reminder of the glass I'm holding. The glass that was once fairly light starts to feel considerably heavier. The professor paused, allowing the imagery to sink into the minds of her students. Now let's push this further. What if I held this glass for an entire day? She asked, her voice filled with a hint of challenge. The weight remains the same, but now my arm is screaming for relief. It's not just an ache anymore, it's a cramp that's making my entire arm feel numb. It's a pain that's becoming unbearable, making the glass feel as if it weighs a ton. Her gaze swept across the auditorium, meeting the eyes of her students who were hanging on to her every word. The discomfort, the difficulty, the debilitating pain, all of these feelings would force me to eventually drop the glass. And yet, the glass itself has not changed. It's still the same weight it was when I first picked it up. In each case, the weight of the glass doesn't change, but the longer I hold it, the heavier it feels to me. With these words, the professor concluded her point, leaving her students to ponder over the profound lesson hidden within a simple glass of water. Your stresses and worries in life are very much like this glass of water. Imagine the glass as a vessel for your thoughts, concerns, and anxieties. The water it holds represents the weight of your worries. Now, the glass itself isn't inherently problematic. It's simply a container, much like your mind. The real issue arises when we start filling this glass to the brim, allowing the water, our worries, to overflow. We all have a tendency to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, holding on to our stresses, fears, and anxieties. We keep adding to the water in our glass, making it heavier without thinking of the consequences. But the truth is, the longer we carry this weight, the heavier it becomes. Let's consider the professor's words once more. If she holds the glass for a minute, it's pretty light. If she holds it for an hour, her arm starts to ache. If she holds it for a day, her arm feels numb and paralyzed. The weight of the glass hasn't changed, but her perception of its weight has. It's become a burden, an unbearable load. The same goes for our stresses and worries. The more we dwell on them, the heavier they become. They start occupying our minds until there's no room for anything else. They paralyze us, making it impossible to move forward, to grow, to thrive. Remember, it's not the stressors themselves that cause this paralysis, but how long we hold on to them. Like the glass, the weight of our worries doesn't change. What changes is our perception of their weight. The longer we hold on to our worries, the heavier they feel, the more they hinder our progress. So what's the solution? It's quite simple. We need to put the glass down. We need to let go of our worries, our fears, our stress. We need to make room for positivity, for growth, for resilience. Think about them all day long, and you will feel completely numb and paralyzed, incapable of doing anything else until you drop them. It's important to remember to let go of your stresses and worries. This simple phrase, so often overlooked, is a nugget of wisdom that resonates with the essence of our existence. The professor, with her poignant metaphor of the weighty glass, has highlighted a universal truth that we all need to internalize. Consider the weight of the glass as the burden of our worries and anxieties. The longer we clutch onto them, the heavier they seem, and the more they impede our movement, our progress, our joy. Yes, the weight of the glass itself doesn't change, but our perception of that weight does. The longer we hold on to it, the more it drains us, the more it saps our energy, the more it constricts our ability to function. Much like that glass, our worries can seem insignificant at first, just a small part of our day. But as we dwell on them, as we let them occupy our minds, they begin to grow, to become a burden that weighs us down. They start to dictate our actions, our decisions, our interactions. They rob us of our potential, our happiness, our peace. But here's the catch. We have the power to put the glass down. We have the control to release our stresses, to let go of our worries. We have the ability to decide that we won't let our anxieties rule us. We won't let them define our day, our relationships, our lives. So, the professor's advice rings true. Don't carry your burdens through the night and into the next day. Don't let the weight of yesterday's stress seep into the freshness of a new day. Release them, let them go, put the glass down. If you still feel the weight of yesterday's stress, it's a strong sign that it's time to put the glass down. Remember, you are in control of your life. You have the power to choose how you respond to stress. Don't let it weigh you down. Instead, choose to put the glass down and move forward, lighter and free.